Amendment proposed. After clause 77, insert the new clause as printed on the marshalled list.
My Lords, I hadn't expected to speak in this group, but since the noble Lord Northbrook has referred to a number of matters in the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea, where I had the privilege to be Deputy Leader of the Council for quite a period, I thought I would just say one or two things. Now, the current proposals for Sloane Square I have nothing to do with, I know nothing about. I ceased to be involved in the Council in 2018. And so I can't speak for them. But the other example he gave of what he called a bogus consultation, he has had to reach back, I was responsible for, and he has had to reach back. Noble Lords might not be aware that this is an archaeological exercise, because he's actually had to reach back to the year 2007. And it is true that there were 3 consultation exercises, but I can assure the noble Lord that the first 2 which supported the proposals, the first 2 were not in any way bogus at all. They were carried out in a very serious way, and indeed the results surprised me that there was as much support as there was. The third one that he referred to was conducted after a year of campaigning by opponents in what was quite the most unpleasant year of my life, certainly politically. A very long and really quite vicious campaign, all of it funded by the council so that the residents could have as much say as possible, and it found against the scheme which wasn't proceeded with. But where I can find a level of agreement with my noble friend is in relation to bids, because I discovered, and here I declare my interest in being a resident of the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea as he is, I discovered only recently that there is a bid to be introduced in Kensington High Street, and that is going to include Kensington Square, which I do not live in, but which I overlook from an adjacent street, and that the Kensington Square Residents Association has not been consulted about it, and that it is to be introduced in Thackeray Street, which is where I do more or less live, and the relevant Residents Association body for that has also not been consulted as far as I can make out. So I think my noble friend in relation to bids is putting his finger on a very important point, which is that they do involve a transfer of say, I don't say control, but a transfer of say to local businesses who will pay extra money and expect to get what they want for that extra money. And yet that transfer, those expenditures, can have an effect on local residents, and they should have some involvement in the establishment of a bid. So I didn't imagine I'd ever have to go down the memory lane of Sloane Square improvements again in my life, but it's good that my noble friend has brought back those not always pleasant memories, but I am at least with him when it comes to business improvement districts.